Hello, gorgeous ones. I had to fix my hair. I don't know, my hair is doing something. I'm not feeling it. But anyway, hello. I say but anyway a lot, don't I? I have my catchphrases. I've been noticing that. I gotta watch myself. So anyway, today I'm starting something new. I'm calling it the Fierce 5. So the Fierce 5 is going to be sections of my collection that I want to talk about, because it's like, you know, when you're doing these type of things, you get caught up in the new and the shiny pretty, but I don't talk about a lot of things that I own that people have asked me about, you know, really are kind of integral to, you know, your collection. So I'm going to be taking 5 things, you know, out of my collection and talking about them, you know, and it will be, you know, based on like today's, you know, collection, Fierce 5. They'll all be different, and that's not to say that they're the best, you know, or the only ones I love, but this will be like here. So like today we're going to talk about some face brush. Let's have that Chicago interlude. Woo, the Chicago interlude is big today. Y'all hear that? This is a serious interlude we just had. That was a serious Chicago interlude, and it's still going on. Let's see. There we go. And there it is. You know, I could cut this out, but I know that you all appreciate the Chicago interlude. Right there, right there. Okay, so anyway, so this is my very first Fierce 5, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to see what the Fierce 5 for this first one, don't go nowhere. All right, so let's talk about the Fierce 5. And the first one in my Black Don't Crack mug is face brushes. So these are some of my favorite face brushes, and I'll tell you what I use them for. So let's start out with this one. This is the e.l.f. pointed powder brush. This is my favorite brush for bronzing. It's pointed. It has a nice little, comes to that nice little point. It's like a perfect point right here, you know, and it just chisels in perfectly for me. So people ask me, I don't really use the angle brushes, but I do love a good chisel brush. So this is it, and this is so inexpensive. I mean, you know, and I've had this for a while. It's soft. It has just enough movement. It's dense, but just enough movement to really buff in that bronzer that I use, and I pretty much only use it for bronzer. Now, speaking of e.l.f., here's my other e.l.f. brush. This brush right here, I think this is $4. I am going to put the prices. I'll try to put the prices here so you all will know, and the exact name of the brush on the screen. This is the e.l.f. powder brush. Now this is beautiful. It's a flat, like a kabuki brush, but it's a powder brush, so it's not too dense, and it has just enough movement, and I love this for powder. This is so perfect for, you know, setting powders, press powders, to get in there and buff it into your skin really well. And for $4, you can't beat it. I need to get a few more though, because you know, sometimes you just don't want to wash your brushes. Okay, never mind. Okay, next up is this. This is a Coastal Scents large powder brush. Now, to me, this is not a large powder brush. However, it's a great brush for my blush. So I use this for blush. And you see it's got a domed top to it, but it's got enough, it's fluffy, and it's big but not too big, so it's perfect for me to like, because I like a diffused blush. I like it because it helps you build it up, so you can, you know, grab a little, tap it off, and then get a really good pigmentation, and you can just work it in really slowly. And so this is my this is one of my favorite blush brushes. Blush brushes. Now, when it comes to a powder brush, this is a powder brush. This is the Morphe E41. This is like, I love this brush. You know, it's so big, it's so fluffy, it's got that big rounded, it's just a sexy brush, and this is like that perfect one. The interlude is, it's a Saturday morning, y'all. The interlude is serious right now. Okay, so anyway, the powder brush right here, This is perfect. You know, I love big fluffy powder brushes for when you're using finishing powders, loose setting powders and loose finishing powders, because you can get it on there, tap it off, and you give it a really light dusting, but it will buff in your powder so well. Y'all see I want to put it on my face, but I have makeup on, so I'm not going to do it. But I love this for, you know, just really buffing in and putting in a loose setting and finishing powders. Beautiful brush. Now the last brush we're going to talk about is this one right here. This is my It Cosmetics Velvet Luxe Buffing Foundation Brush, the number 301. Now this is an expensive brush. I know this is I think it's like $38. I got it half price because a lot of times Ulta will have deals on It Cosmetic brushes. You know, it'll be like maybe 1 or 2 brushes and they'll take them half off. So when you see that, if it's the brush you really want, you go ahead and snatch it, because the It Cosmetic brushes are love. So anyway, this is the Velvet. Now this looks similar to the powder brush I have, right? But they are not, because this is a much, you know, fluffier. It's more open. This is a really dense brush right here, and it has very small movement, and it does feel like velvet on the skin. It's super soft, and they buff in your foundation beautifully. Now, no lies, this is a bitch to clean, because the bristles are so dense in here. So when it gets in there, you really have to open it up and get inside of here to get out the you know, foundation. But when you're using it, it's just like beautiful. It's just, it buffs in there's no lines. It buffs in your foundation beautifully. This, if you want to splurge on one, this is a good one to splurge on. I'm just saying. Okay, so that is it for the first Fierce 5. The face brushes. Now y'all know I have more brushes, so I will talk about other brushes, and I will try to make sure they're brushes that you can get, because there's no point in me telling you about some brushes if you really can't get them. I will tell you about some, but not all. But anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If leave any comments. Tell me about your favorite face brushes. I am starting to get into more expensive brushes, so feel free to tell me your favorite, you know, brushes with some extra coins on them. And if you are new and you've made it this far, the only polite thing to do is, on your way out, hit the subscribe button. You see that on your way out? You see how I did that? On your way out, hit the subscribe button, because you know you're hanging out in my YouTube home, and you know, just like to see you again sometime. All right, it's your LuuLuu. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. Bye bye.